Hello, I am Sivakrishna Teki, lecturer in mathematics, PB Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada. Welcome to my PPT presentation on ring theory. In this PPT, I am going to define ring definition, properties of ring, integral domain, field, skew field, and one example on ring. So coming to definition of ring. So let R be a non-empty set with two binary operations denoted by additively and multiplicatively. So in order to define a ring, we require a non-empty set together with two binary operations, say addition and multiplication. Then the system R comma plus comma dot is said to be a ring if it satisfies the following conditions. So the system, a system is nothing but a non-empty set together with two binary operations is said to be an algebraic system. Is said to be a ring if it satisfies the following conditions. Number one, R comma plus is an abelian group. So in abelian group, we are having five more conditions. One is closure property, associative property, existence of identity, existence of inverse, and commutative property. So coming to the second one, R comma dot is semi-group. So once again in semi-group, we are having two conditions. One is closure property and the second one is associative property. So the first condition is an abelian group with respect to the plus, and the second one is semi group with respect to dot. Dot is nothing but multiplication. And the third condition is distributive loss holds, and the distributive loss are a into b plus c is equal to ab plus ac. This is left distributive, and p plus c into a is equal to ba plus ca. So this is right distributive. So whenever a non-empty set together with two binary operations satisfies all these conditions, then we say that system R comma plus comma dot is a ring. So coming to the properties of ring, so commutative ring. A ring Kepler is said to be a commutative if AB is equal to BA. It means if you want to define a commutative ring, first of all it should be a ring. After that, it should satisfy one more condition, that is commutative property with respect to multiplication. So that is AB is equal to BA for all A comma B belongs to Kepler. So if a ring satisfies this condition, then we say that ring is a commutative ring. Ring with unit element. So next property, ring with unit element. A ring Kepler is said to be a ring with unit element if there exists an element 1 belongs to R such that 1 into A is equal to A into 1 is equal to A. So in order to define this property, first of all it should be a ring. After that, in that ring there exists an element 1. So that ring contains an element 1 such that 1 into A is equal to A into 1 is equal to A. If this happens, then we say that ring contains an unit element 1. Next property, ring with zero divisor. So a ring Kepler is said to be a ring with zero divisor property if a non-zero element, if we consider a non-zero element in Kepler, then there exists another non-zero element in Kepler such that the product either AB is equal to 0 or BA is equal to 0. So in order to define a ring with zero divisor property, first of all it should be a ring. After that, it should satisfy one more condition. So that is, if we consider a non-zero element in Kepler, there exists another non-zero element in Kepler such that product either AB is equal to 0 or BA is equal to 0. If this happens, then we say that ring is having a zero divisor property. So coming to the next one, ring without zero divisor. Once again, a ring is said to be having a without zero divisor property. If a product is equal to 0, then either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So if we want to define any of these property, first of all, it should be a ring itself. After that, it should satisfy one more condition. So for commutative ring, it should satisfy commutative property. And for ring with unit element, it should satisfy there exists an element 1 belongs to R such that A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to A. Similarly, for zero divisor property, we have to consider a non-zero element in Kepler. Then there exists a non-zero element in Kepler such that product is equal to 0. So this is we have to prove in zero divisor property. And for without zero divisor property, we have to consider product is equal to 0. This implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. We have to prove either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. So these are the properties of ring. Next, definition of integral domain. So a ring Kepler is said to be integral domain if it satisfies the following condition. So in order to define an integral domain, first of all, it should be a ring. After that, it should satisfy three more conditions. So the first one is R is commutative ring. Second one is R has unit element. And the third one is R is having without zero divisor property. So we have already discussed about the commutative ring, unit element, and without zero divisor property. So in addition to the ring conditions, if a ring satisfies these three conditions also, then we say that that ring is an integral domain. So this is the definition of integral domain. Coming to the definition of field, a ring Kepler having at least two elements is said to be a field if it satisfies the following conditions. Once again, in order to define a field also, first of all, it should be a ring itself. After that, it should satisfy three more conditions. So the first one is R is commutative, and the second one is R has unit element, and the third one is every non-zero element in Kepler having multiplicate inverse. So in addition to the ring conditions, if a ring satisfies these three conditions, commutative condition, unit element condition, and every non-zero element having multiplicate inverse condition, then we say that that ring is a field. Coming to the next definition, that is skew field. A ring Kepler having at least two elements is said to be a skew field. So in every definition, we are saying that in a ring, it means if you want to define integral domain or field or skew field, first of all, it should be a ring itself. After that, it should satisfy some more conditions. So in skew field, we have to satisfy two more conditions. And number one is R has unit element, and number two is every non-zero element in Kepler having multiplicative inverse. If these two conditions are satisfied by a ring, then we say that that particular ring is a skew field. So I am giving you one example on ring. So the example is, show that the set of all even integers is a commutative ring without unity element. So we have to prove that the set of all even integers is a commutative ring without unity element. So that I have considered that let Kepler be the set of all even integers, and I am taking two binary operations, one is plus and the second one is dot, and I am writing the set R is equal to set of 2x such that x belongs to z. Since R is the set of all even integers, so that I have written Kepler is equal to 2 into x where x belongs to z. It means when you consider an integer, then we get one number in Kepler, one even integer in Kepler. So for every integer, we get one even integer in Kepler. And set of all even integers are of the form 0 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 4 plus or minus 6 and so on. So these are all the even integer set. This is the set of all even integers. Now we have to prove that R comma plus comma dot is a commutative ring without unity element. So once again, in order to prove R is a commutative ring without unity element, first of all, we have to prove R is a ring. So according to the definition of ring, first we have to prove that R comma plus is an abelian group. So that I am proving that R comma plus is an abelian group. In abelian group, we are having 5 conditions. So the first one is closure property. So coming to the closure property, we have to consider two elements in Kepler. So let A comma B belongs to Kepler. According to the definition of Kepler, every element in Kepler is of the form 2 into x. So that I have written A is equal to 2x and B is equal to 2y, where x comma y belongs to z. Z is set of all integers. So now I am considering A plus B. So A plus B is nothing but 2x plus 2y. So if we take 2 common, we get 2 into x plus y. So since x comma y are integers, the sum of two integers is also an integer. So that x plus y should belongs to z. So 2 into element in z belongs to Kepler by the definition of Kepler. So if we get an integer, then we get an even integer in Kepler. So that 2 into x plus y should belongs to Kepler. It means A plus B belongs to capital R. So that closure property holds. So in closure property, we have to consider two elements in our set, and the sum of those two elements should also belongs to our set. Then we say that closure property holds. So coming to the second one, that is associative property. We have to consider three elements, A comma B comma C in capital R. So once again, by definition of capital R, A should be 2x, B should be 2y, and C is 2z, where x comma y comma z belongs to z. So now we have to consider A plus or B plus C. And now we have to prove that A plus B plus C. So that A plus or B plus C is equal to A is nothing but 2x, and B is 2y, and C is 2z. So if we take 2 common from these two elements, we get 2 into y plus z. After that, if we take 2 common from these two, we get 2 into x plus of y plus z. So x plus of y plus z, since x comma y comma z, all the elements belongs to z, and z set of all integers itself is a group, maybe abelian group. So that by associative property in z, we can write x plus of y plus z is equal to x plus y plus z. So by associative property in integers, we can write x plus of y plus z is equal to x plus y plus z. So if we multiply with the 2, we get 2 into x plus y plus 2z. So once again, if you multiply this with the 2, we get 2x plus 2y plus 2z. So 2x is nothing but A plus B plus C. So I consider A plus or B plus C, and I have proved A plus B plus C. So this is associative property with respect to addition. Therefore, associative property holds. So coming to the third condition, that is existence of identity. So for that, we have to consider an element in capital R. So the let A belongs to capital R, and A should be of the form 2x, where x belongs to z. So since in integers, set of all integers, we are having 0, so that 2 into 0. So 2 into something is an element in capital R. So that I have written 2 into 0 belongs to capital R. It means 2 into 0 is nothing but 0. This implies 0 belongs to capital R. So whenever 0 belongs to capital R, I am considering that A plus 0. So A is nothing but 2x, and I am writing 0 as 2 into 0. So that if we take 2 common, we get 2 into x plus 0. So x plus 0 is nothing but x. It means 2x. So once again, 2x is nothing but A. So I consider A plus 0, and I get A. So similarly, if we consider 0 plus A also, we get A. It means 0 is the identity element in capital R. Therefore, identity property holds. So coming to the next property, existence of inverse. For that, we have to consider an element in capital R. So that I consider A belongs to capital R. So once again, A is nothing but 2x, where x belongs to z. Whenever x belongs to z, implies minus x should also belongs to z. We are having, in the set of all integers, we are having positive integers as well as negative integers. So that whenever x belongs to z, implies minus x should also belongs to z. Whenever minus x belongs to z, then we can write 2 into minus x should belongs to capital R. This is by definition of capital R. So that I am writing 2 into minus x as b, and now consider A plus B. So A is nothing but 2x, and B is 2 into minus x. I am adding these two elements. So then we get 2x minus 2x, which is equal to 0. Since 0 is the identity element in capital R, if we add two elements, we are getting 0. We say that those two are inverse to each other. Therefore, B is the inverse of capital A, and hence inverse property holds. Similarly, we can prove that B plus A should also equal to 0. So coming to the next property, commutative property. We have to consider two elements in capital R. Once again, A is nothing but 2x, B is 2y, and x comma y belongs to z. In commutative property, we have to prove that A plus B is equal to B plus A. So that A plus B is equal to 2x plus 2y. So if we take 2 common, 2 into x plus y, and x plus y can be written as y plus x, and then we get 2y plus 2x. So 2y is nothing but b, 2x is nothing but a. Therefore, a plus b is equal to b plus a. This is commutative property with respect to addition. Therefore, R satisfies all the 5 conditions of abelian group. Therefore, R comma plus is an abelian group. After that, in ring definition, we have to prove that R comma dot is semi-group. In semi-group, we are having two conditions. One is closure property. So that coming to the closure property, once again we have to consider two elements. So A comma B. A is nothing but 2x, B is nothing but 2y, where x comma y belongs to Z. So now I am considering that A into B. So A into B is nothing but 2x into 2y. This is equal to 4xy, and I am writing 4xy as 2 into 2xy. So if you write an element of the form 2 into something, that particular element should belongs to Kepler by the definition of Kepler. So that 2 into 2xy should belongs to Kepler. So 2 into 2xy is nothing but AB. So I consider A comma B, and I have proved AB belongs to Kepler. This is closure property with respect to multiplication. Coming to the next property, that is associative property with respect to multiplication. We have to consider three elements. So that I consider three elements, and A is nothing but 2x, B is 2y, C is 2z. And now I am considering A into BC. So A into BC is equal to 2x into 2y into 2z. This is 8xyz. And similarly, if we consider AB into C, also 2x into 2y into 2z, that is also 8xyz. It means A into BC is equal to AB into C. So this is associative property with respect to multiplication. Therefore, R satisfies the two conditions with respect to multiplication. Therefore, R comma dot is semi-group. So in ring definition, after proving abelian group and semi-group, next we have to prove distributive properties. So in distributive properties, we are having two conditions. One is left distributive and the second one is right distributive. So that I consider three elements in Kepler. So A is equal to x, B is equal to y, and C is equal to 2z, where x comma y comma z belongs to z. So I consider A into B plus C. So 2x into 2y plus 2z. So this is equal to x into. If we take 2 common, then we get 2 into y plus z. And if we multiply these two, we get 4x into y plus z. So this is equal to 4xy plus 4xz. Similarly, if we consider AB plus AC, so AB is nothing but 2x into 2y, AC is nothing but 2x into 2z, and if we multiply and add these elements, we get 4xy plus 4xz. It means A into B plus C is same as AB plus AC. So this is left distributive property. Similarly for right distributive property, we have to consider B plus C into A. Once again, B is nothing but 2y plus 2z into 2x. If you multiply these elements, we get 4xy plus 4xz once again. And in the same way, if we consider BA plus CA, then also we get 4xy plus 4xz. It means B plus C into A is same as BA plus CA. So therefore, right distributive property also holds. Therefore, ring R comma plus comma dot is a ring. It satisfies abelian group conditions, it satisfies semi-group conditions, and it also satisfies distributive properties. Therefore, we say that ring is that R comma plus comma dot is a ring. After that, we have to prove that ring is a commutative ring and also without unity element. So that I have written, we have to prove that R comma plus comma dot is a commutative ring. It means we have to satisfy commutative property with respect to multiplication. So that I consider two elements, and after that I consider AB. AB is nothing but 2x into 2y, which is equal to 4xy. Similarly, BA is also equal to 2y into 2x, which is equal to 4xy. Therefore, AB is equal to BA. Commutative property holds with respect to multiplication. And if you observe the definition of Kepler, I am writing the elements in Kepler as 0, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, and so on. So clearly we observe that 1 does not belong to our set. Therefore, since 1 belongs to Kepler, we conclude that R comma plus comma dot is a commutative ring without unity element. Thank you.